Hello all my beautiful sisters from those other misters. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a video on my favorite exfoliators. So I received a comment from Jill Valentine. Jill said, not sure if you'll see this or not. We do. If anyone's wondering, YouTube, like content creators, you have this thing called a creator studio and you see all of the comments. Every single comment that comes in, we see them. They're all there. It's like someone sending you a text message or an email or something like that. But Jill said, I was wondering, since I'm looking for a scrub that will take a few layers off, if you could do a video on some of your favorite exfoliators. Sincerely thinking about taking sandpaper to my skin. Okay, so don't ever take sandpaper to your skin, but I understand how you feel. I'm going to share my favorite exfoliators today. I actually went through my stash to like pull out some favorites, and it turned out that almost every exfoliator that I had in my collection at this point in time, bar maybe a handful, are my favorite, my near and dearest, most loved exfoliators. Now I'm going to be talking about physical and chemical exfoliators today, and even a tool. So we're going to cover some bases. I got a lot of products. I'm not going to give heaps of information on them because I don't want this video to be super long, but I'm going to share with you some of my most loved scrubs. Now, most loved scrubs and exfoliators. Now, some info about my skin to know if this video is even going to be worth watching for you, because everyone likes different things in a scrub. I am 34, coming up to 35. Where did the time go? I have combo skin that is now acne prone. So I get like an oily T-zone and I'm normal everywhere else, but occasionally my skin decides that it's going to be dry and flaky and uncomfortable. So I go through a little bit of all of it, and you know, the big sort of cystic, deep down painful acne that can take months to heal. So that's kind of an idea of my skin type. I have a preference for physical exfoliators, or that makes me sound like I prefer physical exfoliators over chemical. That's not true. My preferred type of physical exfoliator is something that has a very, very fine grit and lots of it, tons of it. Like, this is where the sandpaper thing comes in, because often I say it feels like sandpaper on my skin when I'm referring to a scrub that I really love. They're the types of scrubs that I really, really love. So it's not like a couple of beads that you're just pushing around your face. It's not like a I don't go for the walnut scrubs. Not gonna lie, used to love a good St. Ives scrub, but no longer do I partake in the walnut thing. Just call it a thing. Call it a thing. But I do love a scrub with very, very, very small, fine particles and heaps of them, because I do love that really sort of intense exfoliation feeling. Now, I have quite a few of those to show you today. They range in price. They are probably, most of them are on the higher spectrum of the like price tags. But there is one that I really love and adore that is a bit more affordable, and I'll talk about that when I get to it. My preferred method of exfoliating is actually with acids though. So when I am going through a breakout, I like to use BHA acids because they are good for helping to clear out breakouts, so clear out pores. and when my skin is not going through a breakout, I like glycolic acids or AHAs. So BHA is salicylic and good for breakouts, so B for breakout, and AHA is glycolic and good for anti-aging, so A for anti-aging. That's how I remember it. Maybe that will help you if you haven't already you know, got the hang of knowing which acid is best for what. But the good thing about salicylic acid is that it is still good for anti-aging, but if you don't have the breakouts, the glycolic is going to be better for the anti-aging. But if you've got breakouts, stick with the BHA because it works better to target the breakouts. So I'm actually going to start with the chemical exfoliants because they are the type that I use most frequently. Now, if you have never used a topical liquid exfoliant or chemical exfoliant, my advice would be to start slowly. Use it like maybe every third night or fourth night, or if you've got really sensitive skin, maybe just once a week, and build yourself up over time, because if you use too much at once and your skin's not used to it, it can be unpleasant. So just know that, build up slowly. But if you're already, you know, used to using chemical exfoliants, go for your life, use them regularly. When I'm using a BHA, and I'm trying to treat breakouts, I actually use these twice a day, and my preferred type are from Paula's Choice. These are affordable and they also have pretty good formulas. So this one here is the Resist Daily Pore Refining Treatment. It is a 2% BHA liquid. So what I do is I wash my face, I make sure I get rid of every single skerrick of makeup, put some of this on a cotton pad, and then I wipe it over my face and I let it dry. Let it dry before I go in with the rest of my skincare. Another one that I have, and this is pretty much the same thing, it's just going to come down to what type of formula you like. This is a 2% BHA gel. It is salicylic acid gel. It's in the Skin Perfecting line, and it is a gel. So while the Resist is a fluid, this one is a clear gel. And again, the process of using it is exactly the same. I wash my face, I make sure I have zero makeup on my skin. Skin's got to be spotless clean, and then I put that on as my first step. I use it basically like a toner and I let it dry. Now, you don't need to be scared of like acid toners or acid liquids or anything like that, because over-the-counter ones are designed not to do any damage. Once they dry on the skin, they stop exfoliating. So they're not going to burn you unless, like I mentioned earlier, if your skin is not used to it and you're using something like this twice a day and you've got sensitive skin, there's a good chance you could have irritation, peeling, and maybe some stinging and redness. So if you haven't already like built up a tolerance to products like that, do it slowly. Don't go crazy because you'll regret it. You don't want to learn this stuff the hard way. It's better to build it up slowly and see results slower and not have the irritation and the peeling and the discomfort than to go ham and go, oh shit, probably should have gone a bit slower. For me, when I use one of these products twice a day over an extended period, my skin is gorgeous. It will make your pores appear smaller because there's no dead skin sitting in them. It clears everything out. Your skin will feel so soft and so smooth. And using something like this twice a day, once you've built up a tolerance to it, you don't even need a physical scrub. Something weird would have to happen for you to need a physical scrub, because a 2% BHA every single day, twice a day, should be enough to keep you smooth and lovely. The next type of liquid exfoliant or chemical exfoliant that I use is an AHA, so that's the Glycolic, and I tend to switch between these when I'm not having breakouts. So at the moment I'm using this guy because I actually covered her pretty well today. I've got a big cluster of acne like in here, so I'm using that religiously, and when that clears I will switch straight over to something like this guy. So this is from Glyco. It's the Skin Brilliance Exfoliating Liquid. So this is a liquid again, but it's a glycolic based liquid. Now, Glyco have another product. It is the Daily Resurfacing Pads. So this is a tub of 60 pads, I believe. Let me confirm. Yes, 60 pads. So these are the exact same product, except this is fluid on pads that will also offer a little bit of physical exfoliation. So these ones I pull out if I've been a little bit lazy with my daily acid application and I feel like I've got some rough skin. So if I've skipped using this for a few days, very bad girl, don't do that, stick with a good routine, and I'm trying to boost my skin back into like a happy, healthy, daily chemical exfoliation routine, I will use these for a few nights and this in the morning. So essentially what you have are 60 cotton pads, and they're actually textured, and they will give you a bit of physical exfoliation. It's not too much that it's gonna do damage to the skin, which obviously you want to avoid, but it's going to help boost that sort of, like, get off those top layers a little bit quicker. Like that sounds bad. It's not taking off top layers of skin, it's taking off the dead skin that's sitting on top. Advice with these ones, cut them in half. So they actually come, and this advice was given to me by the owner of the brand, Darren. So they come as a round pad like so, nice and thin. Cut them in half because they're very wet, and one of those pads is enough to do a full face and a neck if you want. If you also want to do your chest, I do find that a full pad is better for that. So they're great. They are a little bit expensive. Glyco is a premium brand. Now, I'm going to show you a product that is similar to this, that is more affordable. You can find it in Priceline, and if you are elsewhere in the world, you would find it at places that you would call like a drugstore, probably. This is the Loreal Revitalift Laser Renew Anti-Aging Glycolic Peel Pads. So these are the same deal as the Glyco ones, and again, oh God, nearly lost them. I cut mine in half. Now, if you are choosing a glycolic acid toner to help with anti-aging, I would 100% not recommend that you go for these, because the other supporting ingredients, oh, I nearly dropped them. The other supporting ingredients in here are not really that great. So let me Google it because it's not on the package, which really annoys the shit out of me. First ingredient in these is water. Second ingredient, denatured alcohol. Denatured alcohol is going to dry out your skin and age you faster. The supporting ingredients in these guys also contains alcohol, but they are fatty alcohols which help to hydrate, plump, and moisturize the skin. So while these are a cheaper alternative, I mean, even if we look at them, like these are $45 for a tub of 30. These you get 60 pads, but it's 125. So it is like, let's say you're buying 2 of these at full price, it's going to cost you $90, and these are 125. These are still cheaper but the supporting ingredients in them are not good for your skin. What's the point in using glycolic to help with anti-aging when the second ingredient in these is an aging ingredient? Now, I totally respect that not everyone can afford this, okay? These are expensive, and look, I love Glyco. I love the owner. The products are fantastic. Their formulation is outstanding, but please don't buy shit like this. Please, please, please don't buy shit like this. Even if you think this is a cheaper alternative, in the end, it's not better for you. Do your research. I'm sure Paula's Choice has something more affordable in a glycolic range. I'm sure there are plenty other brands that can offer you a much better formula for your skin at a more affordable price. Now, I already know I have viewers who buy Glyco and love their products. So, you know, I respect that there are different people in all different categories who can afford different things. So, you know, that's just an example. I feel like I'm trying to push Glyco products, and fuck it, I am. Go Darren, go. I love your brand. But what I'm trying to point out is check your formulation. Make sure your formula supports what it says it's meant to do. This is good for anti-aging. This also says it's good for anti-aging, but the second ingredient is going to age you. All right, I know that was a rant, but I have to get it off my chest. And if I'm going to be recommending like anti-aging things, and I know an ingredient is not great for anti-aging, I've got to tell you guys. Next, okay, before I get into the next lot, the kids are out playing out there. So if you hear kids playing, yelling, screaming, I'm sorry. The next lot of exfoliators that I'm going to talk about are they're what I consider hybrid exfoliators. So they offer a chemical exfoliation and a physical exfoliation. Now, I've got some from like different price ranges here. So I'm going to start with the Kate Somerville. This is the Exfoliate Intense Exfoliating Treatment. So this is a physical and chemical exfoliant, and the way you use these, damn, hang on, let me see if I can find a sample because that's sealed. All right, here we go, here we go. Okay, so this is a, shit, is there any left? Is there any left, or did I go ham? No, here we go, here we go. So this is sort of like a thick, almost silicone balmy type product, and it actually doesn't have a whole lot of grit to it. The grit particles are quite fine. I would say out of all of the exfoliators, physical exfoliators that I'm going to talk about in this video, this is the one with the most fine particles. So if you really don't like that super gritty feel, this would probably be the one that you would enjoy the most because it has the least gritty texture. So what you do with this one is you apply it to a clean, wet face. You get it all over. You can give it a little massage if you want, and then you leave it on for 2 minutes before you do a final massage, and then you rinse it off. And essentially what that does is it physically exfoliates the surface, but it also chemically exfoliates for that short period that you have it on your skin, and it works really effectively. This is a favorite of mine. I have never actually purchased it. I've only ever had it in samples, and I squirreled them away because it's such a lovely product. But I received this one along with another one that I'll talk about in the Mecca Land gift bag, and I was like, oh yes, I'm so excited. I love this one. It's very good, but it is very expensive. Something I do have to mention, since I harped on about drying alcohols, this one does contain denatured alcohol in it. It is further down on the ingredient list, but if you find that you are using it and it is making your skin uncomfortable or feel dry or tight, discontinue use, basically. Personally, I can use this one because it doesn't contain too much of the denatured alcohol. These make my skin uncomfortable. So while I harped on about denatured alcohol, I do need to also be honest and let you guys know that in some cases it's in very low doses and it's not that harmful. Listen to your skin. That's the best advice I can give. Your skin will tell you if it's not happy. Another one that I enjoy, but again, complete transparency, it does contain denatured alcohol, so be aware of that. If you feel like it's drying out your skin, don't use it. This is from Philosophy. It is the Micro Delivery Resurfacing Peel. So essentially what you do is you take this guy, which is a balm. It smells great. It is a balm that is full of scrubby crystals. These are bigger than the Kate Somerville. Here, listen. There you go. You can hear it. They are very scrubby. So you put this on clean, dry skin and you massage it around. And then you go in with part 2. So this is a liquid. I can't get it to focus, help me. So this contains lactic acid, salicylic acid, vitamin C, peptides. This is an activator, it's a clear gel, and you pop it on top of your scrub and you leave it on for 2 to 3 minutes and it actually foams up. It goes kind of like a white to milky color and you will feel it warming up on your skin. After the 2 or 3 minutes, you can absolutely give yourself another exfoliation if you feel like you need it. I would say if you're using this product for the first time, just start off slow, see how you go, listen to your skin, and then when you're going in with it, you know, next time you'll have a bit more of a better idea of how it's going to work for you. You don't want to overdo it straight off the bat. I'm a massive fan of this little duo, and I mean, you guys saw I'm getting towards the end of it, and when this happens with products that I love, I kind of start to squirrel them away and use them really sparingly. And the reason I do that is because I can't justify repurchasing it when I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 other scrubs in my collection that are all just as good. But it's the kind of thing where I'm like, I don't want to be without it because I love it. My last chemical and physical exfoliator is actually from Pixi. So this is the Skin Treats Peel and Polish. So this is it's kind of like a cream, a gel cream. Look, it looks like that. I love the scent of this. It reminds me of like fresh green things. So with this one, again, you apply it to clean, dry skin. You would put it on, you give it a little scrub, just gently. The particles in this, not as much as what's in this, but they're about the same size as what's in this. So you pop it on, give it a little rub around your face, be gentle, and you leave it on for maybe 2 minutes. I think 2 minutes is the recommended amount of time. Does it say? Yes, leave on for up to 2 minutes. And then for extra exfoliation, gently massage onto the face for 30 seconds, rinse off and pat dry. So this one also offers that sort of chemical exfoliation. It uses fruit enzymes. I believe, does it use? There's no ingredients on here. Printer ingredients. All right, so it also uses lactic acid, which I didn't realize, but there we go. Lactic acid is the second ingredient, so that's a good one. I really like this. It's affordable. I will say I don't always use this on a dry face. I will actually use this often when I'm in the shower. So I get in the shower, I do all of my things, my washing, and then I'll put this on, leave it on for 2 minutes while I do something else, and then I give it an extra little rub around my face and I rinse it off. That is a really, really lovely one that is effective and more affordable. It also has a beautiful formula. Oh, I love the scent of it. Oh, my hand is, look, it is exfoliated to the hills. but I still have a few more to show you. So we're gonna work on this hand, which is covered in cat scratches. I'm probably gonna regret this. Odin, he's so rude. He likes to try and kill me at night. Okay, I have the Gold Fatten MD Doctor's Scrub. This is a favorite, and it has been a favorite for many years. It is quite expensive, and this is one that I've actually never purchased. Well, actually, that's a bit of a lie. I have received this, or I've had this as samples mostly. There was one time where I bought like a little travel pack with this in it and a bunch of other things, because I was traveling, and I like to travel with skincare that I know and skincare that I can trust, and I knew that I wanted to take this away with me. So since I had no samples of it, I decided to buy a mini pack. It had this and a bunch of other things. So technically I have purchased it, but this one, I actually got it at the Mechaland event in the goodie bag. So I'm very, very, very pleased to have it. But you can see there, it is a white, very light, thin cream. Let's transfer it to my other hand so I can put it over here. So this contains, okay, and we're gonna get a little bit more ranty here. This contains ruby crystals to exfoliate. The crystals are finer than this guy and finer than the Pixie, but there is an abundance of them. This is in a cream base, so it's, you know, not drying or dehydrating on the skin. It doesn't contain denatured alcohol, which is great. But essentially you pop this one on, give yourself a good scrub, and then you rinse it off. Obviously pop it onto clean skin. You can apply scrubs to dry skin or damp skin. If you apply them to damp skin, it's gonna sort of not water it down, but it's a little bit easier to disperse, so you might use less product. That's usually how I like to use them. But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous scrub. The only thing that I don't really get with this scrub is like the ruby crystals. Recently I've been sort of like, I've been seeing like diamonds and shit that they're like touting in skincare as like the second coming of Jesus, and like I think it's kind of bullshit. The ruby crystals, they like to I just realized I had lipstick migrating into the corners of my mouth. That's so attractive. I was reading some articles about Gold Fatten MD harping on about how the ruby crystals have holistic properties and blah, 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 blah. And don't get me wrong, like I've got crystals in my house. I love them. I find them calming and relaxing, and like I love having them in my home, but I don't believe they're doing shit for me on my face in my scrub when it's on my skin for no longer than a minute and then it's being washed down the drain. So when I see things like ruby crystals, diamond core powder, fucking gold, silver, shit like that, to me, it's just a way to make a product sound bougie as fuck and to ramp up a price tag. Now, the actual formula of this, the juice, it's good. It is good stuff. It is a very, very effective manual exfoliator. It's going to leave your skin silky smooth. But like, ruby crystal? Really? 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 On the note of talking about like rubies and diamonds and gold and shit, like I don't actually care if it's in the product. I think it's a little bit of like, it's hogwash. But if the juice is good, I'll buy it. If your product is expensive, but I notice a visible and physical difference in my skin, I'm okay with your price tag. I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. I think, you know, I think there's two types of people. People who think it's all bullshit and they like don't buy it, and then there's people who don't give a shit. They're just like, whatever, I just want it to work, and if it works, I'll buy it. I'm that person. Like, I don't give a fuck if you've got ruby crystals in here. Like, literally could not give a shit. Don't care if you've got gold in your product. Do not give a crap. I only care about how the product actually works, and that's what's important to me. This one personally actually works for me, so I do like it. But if you're looking for a sandpaper scrub, that's a really good one. And I would actually say, if you're looking for a sandpaper scrub, this is probably the most intense of them all, unless you also want a two-step. The next physical exfoliator in my arsenal that I really adore is the Glyco Micro D Intensive Scrub. So this is similar to the Gold Fatten in that it's a cream, but the difference is this actually, I feel like the particles are smaller, but oh, you be quiet. The particles are smaller, but the effect of the scrub is very, very similar. It's gonna leave your skin silky, silky smooth. Now, if you personally can't stand the really gritty scrubs or the scrubs that feel like sandpaper, but you want one that's gonna leave your skin feeling like glass, I would actually recommend this one from Glyco. It is a fabulous scrub. So again, you just massage this onto clean skin and then rinse it away, and it leaves you with gorgeous, gorgeous, soft, smooth skin. That is a fab scrub. My next one is this guy. I haven't even opened him. He's been sitting away waiting for me to dig back into him. This is the Dermalogica Daily Microfoliant. Now, this is a powder exfoliator. Let me show you. So it comes in a thing like this. You screw the top off, and then there's two little holes here. You just put a little bit in your hand like so, make a little well in there, couple of drops of water, turn it into a paste and pop it on your face. This is actually a pretty good little scrub. It's not super gritty, but it's also not meant to be, because it's actually designed to be used quite regularly. That's why it's called a daily microfoliant. You can use it daily if you want. Now, personally, and now I'm going to get into like some excessive talking about how often you should exfoliate. I personally would not use this every day. It's going to be way too much. This stuff is effective. I would say maybe 2 or 3 times a week max, and that would only be like a booster to sort of get the dead skin cells off your skin. Anything strong like this guy or this guy or even this guy, I personally wouldn't use more than once a week, unless, let's say I used it on a Tuesday, because that's my scrub day, my physical exfoliant day, and then I was going out on a Saturday and my skin didn't feel quite as good as I wanted it to. Then I would exfoliate twice, just for a little boost. However, if you are using like a chemical exfoliant every day or several times a week, and then also going in with like a scrub once or twice a week, that's a lot. That's a lot. So you've got to find a good balance. You really don't want to over exfoliate your skin. However, I also want to respect that some people want to exfoliate several times a week, and if you want to do that, who am I to tell you? I'm not your mother. I would go for something a bit more gentle like this. Something that's not gonna destroy your skin if you're using it regularly. The next product that I'm going to show you is, it's actually a mask, and mine is starting to dry out. I need to finish it up. It's this guy. I feel like some people are going to be annoyed at me for talking about this because look, I think you either love this or you hate it. This is a Glam Glow Youth Mud, so it's a tingle foliate, tingle Tingle Exfoliate treatment. I know. Don't blame me, I didn't name it. But essentially this is a face mask. So you apply this to clean skin, you leave it on, it does its like tingly thing, and then when you go to wash it off, you get a little bit damp and you massage it into your skin. And it is a fabulous exfoliator. No more than once a week. Seriously, like just don't do it to yourself because this stuff is intense. But I do really like that one as well, and I feel like I would be lying if I didn't include it in a video of my favorite exfoliators. Alright, this video is way longer than I wanted it to be. I have clearly been talking for too long, so let's do the last thing. It's actually a tool. Da, 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 da. Yes, it's a Clarisonic. So this is, okay, Clarisonic will swear black and blue that this does not exfoliate your face. That is not true. This will exfoliate your face. You know what else will exfoliate your face? If you use a washcloth to remove your makeup in the evening, or your face mask, or if you use a cleansing oil or cleansing balm and you take a damp washcloth and wipe it off your face, that is still going to exfoliate your face. It's not going to be as good as something like this beautiful baby, but it will exfoliate your face. And when you have something, let's see if this will even turn on. There we go. I haven't used this for a while. This oscillates, so it doesn't rotate, it oscillates. So it moves backwards. Oh, I dropped it. It moves backwards and forwards like this across your face. If you have something going like this on a surface, it's creating friction. And when that item is tiny little hair fibers, spoiler alert, it's going to exfoliate your skin. And it's actually going to do it really fucking well. Personally, I love a Clarisonic. I think it offers a really good deep clean and a gentle but effective exfoliation. I would not use this every day. I would not recommend anyone to use it every day, but I know some people do and I know they love it. And I'm not here to tell you to change your routine if you're doing something and it already works for you. If you're doing something and you love it and you're happy and your skin is smiling with you, keep doing it. You do what you know is good for you. But if any of this is new to you and you're not sure, always start slow. That's why I harp on about not using stuff too often. So usually when I'm in a routine of using this, I usually use it twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. It just depends on how my skin is feeling. So what I will do is I will emulsify my makeup with a cleansing oil. I will go in with a cleanser that is suitable for the Clarisonic, and then I will do my Clarisonic clean. Light pressure on the skin. Don't be like, you know, getting in there. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Be gentle. And I find it's really good, especially for like the pore area. Where my pores are starting to look a bit loud and proud, kind of getting a bit bigger. That's when I like to go in with one of these. And I sort of, I build it up slowly. So if I'm already using, say, an AHA or a BHA on a regular basis, morning and night, I might add this and use it maybe twice a week or maybe once a week, or if my skin's looking particularly bad, maybe 3 times. I just go in slowly and keep an eye on how my skin is responding. Sometimes your skin does need a bit extra. Sometimes, like for me in winter, this on its own, morning and night, isn't always enough. Sometimes this will be enough for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'm like, looking a bit dull. I need a physical exfoliation. So I might use this for 3 times in a week to have like a slow improvement, or I might go in with one of these guys for like a really quick boost. It just depends on the situation. And then I'll just go back to using this on a regular basis. So they all have a place, and I know that seems like a lot of scrubs, and yeah, it is. Nobody needs that many scrubs, but I'm in a very lucky position where I get to try a lot of new stuff and I get to fall in love with a lot of new stuff. But everything kind of has its place, basically. Okay, my battery is flashing at me, but there is one more scrub that I must mention, and it falls into the category of the hardcores, but so effectives. There is an additional one. I don't have it because I recently finished it. And like I said, when I finish things and I've got this many other good things, it's very difficult for me to justify repurchasing it. But it is called the Derma E Microdermabrasion Scrub. This is something that you can find at Priceline. You can also find it online, and I believe it is sold internationally. It's not just an Australian brand. In Australia, it retails for about $30. You can hang out for a Priceline 40 or 50% off skincare sale and pick it up half price. But essentially what it is a solid cream with tiny little micro particles of scrubby goodness, and there are so many, so many in there. It is packed full. It's packed full like this, it's packed full like this, and it is packed full like this. In terms of its like how rough it feels on the skin, that sounds terrible, but the grittiness, I would say it's somewhere in between these guys. So it's what's the right word? I was gonna say stronger, but it's more gritty than the Glyco, but not quite as gritty as the Gold Fatten MD. But I highly recommend that one if you are looking at these and going, Hayley, I can't afford them, give me some cheaper options. The Derma E one, good stuff. Alright guys, I need to go before my battery dies. So I hope you found this, I don't know, interesting. Maybe you learned something, maybe you just entertained and you hung out with me, and that is totally cool as well. But Jill, if I'm gonna wrap up and give you like a hardcore, like I'm about to take sandpaper to my face, what should I use? Look, I really would go here. If you're looking for something physical, I would go here. Or if you want something that's physical and chemical, I would go here. I mean, this is physical and chemical as well. So there. Or if you need something more affordable, Derma E if you can find it. But otherwise, just get into a good routine with the acids, girl, because that's where this shit is at. The acids are really, they're my fave. They're my fave. I love a good scrub. I do. I love, to me, it's like it's sort of like a treat me kind of moment, like doing the scrub thing. I'm like, oh yeah, feel that scrub. I love it. But long term, the acids are really where, you know, if I could only choose one, I would choose acids, basically. All right, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Mwah!